Before I get to the Van Halen portion of the video, which is why you're tuned in, I guess, I have a couple of Amazon anecdotes, and I'm starting to realize, unfortunately, this is kind of becoming a theme. This could become a spin-off series. You know how TV shows have spin-off series? There was Friends, and then there was Joey, and Breaking Bad had Better Call Saul. Well, I want to talk about this album. Could turn into a spin-off called Amazon Anecdotes. And maybe just, not just Amazon, mostly. I had the mix-up problem the other day. I had, they were supposed to send me a record, and instead they sent me a Cure record, which I never ordered, never had in my cart, never looked at, didn't even know anything about this album. I got that. And I've got two more, both from yesterday. Now, the first one is, if you remember, I got Kiss Animalized, the record, a couple of weeks ago, and it came here in Mexico all the way from the United States with no packaging whatsoever, no box, no bubble wrap, no envelope, no plastic, no cardboard, nothing, and it was bent. All the four corners were bent, a little bit creased. Well, I've got another one. This is not much better. Look at this. This is how it was sent. I won't tell you what album this is. This will be featured at some point. But look at this. Again, no packaging. There's no there's nothing. No, you can see it's very, very thin. It feels like it's not bent. That Animalized, you could see it. It was bent. So unbelievable that and I'm not sure, it seems that this came from Mexico. And I don't know how that works. Sometimes Amazon is very inconsistent, and I haven't figured out why. But that's one. That's a small one. The other one was, this is kind of a funny one, and very, very, very strange. I don't know if this has ever happened to anybody. So I got this record yesterday, and hours later, I was outside, and my neighbor upstairs, she said, "Oh, I received a package for you. Hold on, let me get it for you." And I thought, because these days I'm getting packages pretty much every day, and I knew that I had nothing upcoming, and I had already received this one today. So I said, "You sure it's for me?" She said, "Yeah." And I said, "Okay," and she brought it to me, and this is it. All right. Now, when I order records, this is Van Halen in here. This is what the first Van Halen album. This is what I'm going to do here. These records, if they don't come in these non-packaging packages, they come in these shaped box. Okay. So this one came in this box, and you can see it couldn't hold a record. Not to mention, I knew I didn't have any records coming, and I haven't ordered anything else from Amazon for probably a month and a half, other than some records. And there were a couple things strange about this. One, why was Amazon delivering things twice to me, two different drivers at two different times of the day? And maybe more mysterious than that is, why am I receiving anything? Because I didn't order anything. So she gave it to me, my neighbor gave it to me, and I looked at it, and I said, "When did this come?" She said, like half an hour ago. And I was home the whole time, so I don't know what happened. And it does, I won't show you, but it does have, you have to trust me, it has my name and address on it. And it's fairly, I don't know if you can tell, but it's not heavy, but it's weighty. All right, it does have some bulk to it. And so here it is here. I opened it up, and like those Russian, what do you call those Russian dolls? That you open them and there's another smaller doll inside. And I'll try not to ruin the surprise. So here's the Amazon box here, all right? And here was the box contained within the Amazon box, all right? And now this is the box from the actual company. It's full. And I open it up, and this is what it is. You can see there's 3 boxes inside. And you know what this is? This is Depend for Men Shields. Yes, I received men's diapers. Actually, these are light For drips and dribbles, that's what this is. It's a 58 count, so you have to be really drippy and really dribbly to need a box of 58. Light for drips and dribbles by Depend. And there are 3. So I have 3 by 58. What's that? 174? 50 by 3, 170. Yeah, 174. I have a lot of diapers for a lot of drips and dribbles, and I have no idea why I received this. Not a clue. For one brief second, I thought somebody sent this like as a gag joke, but that's impossible because nobody has my address. So it wasn't that. So I have no idea how this happened. I guess. And don't forget, it was just the day before that they had sent the Cure album, which I had also never ordered. So they've sent me 2 things in 2 days that I didn't order, 1 thing that I did order that I didn't get, and that will be coming by the time you see this video. I will have that in my real time. It's coming tomorrow. But who knows? Amazon is the biggest retailer in the world, and they still make mistakes. Now it makes me also think if I've had two mistakes this week, 3 I guess. I received 2 things and didn't receive 1 thing. That is 3 mistakes. What else is going to happen? Isn't that horrible service? I understand the mistakes happen, but 3 in 1 week for the same guy, the same customer is very, very unusual. So and you know what? These came from the U.S. because the address on the box, it is from Amazon US from North Las Vegas. Yeah, Big Lake Trail, I think, North Las Vegas. So it came from the US. I looked these up on Amazon.com, Amazon US. These are $25 US each. This is $75 worth of men's diapers for drips and dribbles. That's kind of fun to say. $75 worth of diapers I got. That's 2+ albums that I could have got. And it's kind of strange that out of all the things that Amazon could have sent me by mistake, they sent 1 thing that I have like no use for whatsoever. If it had been some kind of food product or another Cure record or a record by a band that I don't like, at least I maybe could have traded that or something. But I don't know what I'm going to do with these. I don't want to throw them away. Maybe donate them, but even donating them, I don't know what the hell to do with them. I don't want to go out of my way to donate them. And also Mexico is weird. Sometimes places don't accept donations. They think there's something strange about that. So any ideas of what I can do with, I could save them for 25 years when I need them. Would that be, I'll be 78. Yeah, maybe by then I would need some help with my drips and dribbles, but for now, I'm good, thank you. So I have 174 men's maxi pads, I guess is essentially what they are. Men's diapers. Unbelievable. So that's that. And it makes me think I have some other unboxings. Are they gonna be what they're supposed to be? Sorry, I'm getting off camera. Very unprofessional. So I'll get that off. So I will get to Van Halen, to the debut Van Halen album right now. Before I open it, I'll give you and go through it track by track. I'll talk about my general thoughts about this album. I have a strange relationship with this album. Let me explain. I get into Van Halen in 1981. So at that point, they had, I get into them with Fair Warning, which was their 4th album. So when I heard that, they'd had 3 albums earlier. And I never had the first album on vinyl. I never had that. Even back then, I had Fair Warning. And then I got them out. After that, I got Diver Down, 1984. At some point, I went back and got Women and Children First, but I never had the first album on vinyl or cassette. I had the second one. I don't know why, but I had it on cassette. One of the very, very few cassettes that I've had in my life. I hate cassettes. I like taping things from the radio, but I didn't like to buy cassettes. I always bought records and then CDs. So I had the second Van Halen album. I had Dr. Feelgood, Faster Pussycat, Wake Me When It's Over, LA Guns, Cocked and Loaded, maybe a few other ones. I think maybe I had Bark at the Moon on cassette. I don't know why I would have had that. Anyway, but I never had the first Van Halen album until CDs. So I got that in probably I got my first CD player in late '89, so I probably got Van Halen in 1990 at the earliest. So sometime 1990 or later, probably somewhere around there. But when I did get this album, by the time I did get the album, I was quite familiar with it. So many songs were radio staples, rock radio staples. Running with the Devil, You Really Got Me, Jamie's Crying. Was there anything else that I guess maybe? And then maybe some other songs were played like on the rock shows or the metal shows. And I guess I had friends who had it, and you just kind of heard the songs, whatever. So I think I knew all the songs, but I never pieced them together as one album. So by the time I got the record, I didn't really have the attachment to it that I probably should have or would have if I had got it earlier. For that reason, I don't think I love this album. Now I know it is a classic album. Arguably, now this doesn't go by opinion, this is by general musical knowledge. It is considered one of the greatest debut albums. Probably this one, Appetite for Destruction, Pearl Jam, 10, maybe the first Boston album. I don't know what else. It's not, of the Van Halen albums, I would have this ranked maybe around 4th or 5th. There are 3 or 4 albums that I like better than the first album. Again, I've talked about this timeline. I didn't have it early enough for it really to have any kind of impact on me. Now, to be clear, I just said I don't love this album. I do love it, but I don't have any connection with it like I did with some of the others. Fair Warning, Diaper Down, which I got as they were new, when they were new as they came out. I still enjoy listening to it. Almost every song is great or good. There's one that I really don't like and never get into. You can maybe guess what that is. But that's it. So this is going to be my first time having this record of Van Halen, 1978. So I'm going to open it now. I thought I had my knife all ready to go, but I didn't. Another amateur move. So I'll open this. Hopefully it is Van Halen. This could be a Smith record or I don't know, something else. Okay, it is Van Halen. So it seems that it is very good, Amazon. Thank you for sending me the right product. Now, based on, I did Fair Warning the other day, and 1984 last week, there was really no hype sticker, and Van Halen always had bad packaging. They never had the lyrics, I think, until 5150. Didn't really have much in the way of liner notes or anything. I'll assume this is going to be the same. All right, there it is. Oh, it does have a hype sticker. All right, this is the first Van Halen album of 3 that I've got recently that do have a hype sticker. So there it is, the first Van Halen record, and there's the hype sticker. It says Van Halen's 10 times platinum debut. That's I don't know if I would have guessed that it was 10 times platinum. Remastered from the original analog tapes, 180 gram vinyl, lacquers cut by Chris Bell. Chris Bellman cut this album? Oh my God. At Bernie Grundman mastering. Ooh, I'm so excited. So there it is. And David Lee Roth, DLR as some people call him, he's the only member that got a solo shot on the back album. There's Eddie, Dave, who's that? Alex and Michael there. And the track listing, a little bit of credits. This is another one like Fair Warning. When I did Fair Warning, and there are lots of albums and I've always wondered about this, why the track listing on the jacket is not the same as the track listing on the actual record. This has this opens with Running with the Devil, but it's listed as You Really Got Me, which is the 3rd song. They have Ice Cream Man as last, which it wasn't the last song. I'm On Fire is the last song, and on the back cover, On Fire is listed as 3rd. So give me a second to go take my picture of the hype sticker. I'll be back momentarily. Okay, back with Van Halen. I'm going to go through the track by track now. I'm going to slice it up, slice it open, and I don't remember the packaging for this because, as I said, I had the CD and I got it later. I guess the CD was always the same packaging as the record, but this is my first time ever opening the first Van Halen record. Yes, easy. It's a nice matte finish, nice and not shiny, not glossy like the Iron Maiden Legacy of the Beast, which is fun, but I like the matte finish. I say that every time. I think that'll be the last time I say it. You don't need to hear that anymore. Okay. Oh, very simple. The Van Halen logo isn't that the best logo ever, other than Kiss. It was so great and so easy to draw. If you were in high school at the time, Van Halen was a hot band. You probably drew this logo or this logo. It's the same thing. You probably drew that on your notebooks like I did. The ones that I used to love to draw were Van Halen. I don't think I ever drew Ozzy. Although maybe Ozzy might be my... If we talk about logos, maybe I could do a whole video of that. That Ozzy, the original logo from like Blizzard of Oz and Diary of a Madman, I love that logo. But Van Halen was great to draw. Kiss, Iron Maiden, Metallica, Anthrax. I like the lines of all those. So now this is a little bit, it's kind of funny that the opening is here. So you would think the pictures, this is the opening on this side. You would think the pictures, sorry, maybe you can't hear me. You'd think the pictures would be like this. And then also the opening is on the side instead of the top. Usually on the outside cover, the opening would be on the right if you're looking at the front cover. And on the inside jacket, the opening would be on the top. So this one's a little bit odd. So yeah, not the best packaging, no lyrics. And really nothing in a couple of photos, nothing really in the way of credits. All right. And the record itself, it doesn't have the classic Warner Brothers logo, as I remember the Van Halen records at the time did. There it is. All right. So going through this track by track, obviously the first song is Running with the Devil. That's a classic. More Amazon packages, ha! Got some live action here again. Let's do this again. What timing! Incredible. Buenas tardes. Gracias, que tengan buen día. What is this going to be? All right, now I'm going to go back inside and look at, I've already got those. My secret stash. You're seeing some behind the scenes action here. So I've got to set my camera up. Can I do this properly? It goes something like, maybe I can do this without stopping. Let me try this. Is this going to work? Something like this? How is it? One take. All right, let's do this. So no cuts, no cuts. Let me get this and put it, where can I put this? God, I got so much stuff over here. All right, so getting back to Running with the Devil. Live, breaking news again. This happened a couple of days ago. What a miracle. And Amazon always comes at different times. They come anywhere between, I'm turning this into something very different, but anytime between like noon and, normally between noon and 4, but sometimes they've come as early as like 11 or 10, and they've come as late as like close to 8 o'clock, right at the cutoff. Anyway, so there's my package. So getting back to Running with the Devil, obviously a classic. This song I always loved. A great opening song, that kind of horn car horn, I guess it is, beeping, fading in. But what really put this song over the top for me many, many years later was when Van Halen kind of reunited in, was it 96, 97, 98, 2000? I can't even remember. When they reunited on, and again I can't remember, it was either the Grammys or the American Music Awards. The four guys all came out and they had that song "Me Wise Magic," I think shortly after that. I don't know when that was. Late 90s. They hadn't been together since 85, so this was, let's say 97 this was, 96. So it had been a long time, 11, 12, 13 years. And when they walked out and Running with the Devil was playing, that song took on a whole new meaning for me. It made me very, very happy to see Van Halen together, even though at that point it turned out to be nothing. It was still very cool to see Van Halen again. And you've maybe heard something interesting about Running with the Devil. If you've heard that kind of the David Lee Roth soundboard meme, you know, Run with the Devil has all the, and David Lee Roth in general has all these sounds, the woo and oh yeah, and all like that. There's like an isolated audio of Running with the Devil of him doing all these things, ah yeah, yeah, and you can play them all at different things, and it's very funny. And the slide whistle, but Running with the Devil is amazing song. Eruption is next. Now, Eruption obviously was, I guess at that point, I didn't hear this song until probably 1983, I don't know, 82, 84, I don't know, somewhere around there. So it would have been out a few years. But obviously, everybody knows that that was one of the first real, not the first real Guitar Hero songs, but right away from the very, very first Van Halen album, Eruption was like a new world of guitar. It's basically, now this is a different instrumental, which I was talking about. This is a great, great, great instrumental that I love. It's really just a guitar solo. And Eddie Van Halen was saying, hey, world, look at me. Look at what I can do. And everybody else, you've got to live up to what I do. And this obviously influenced probably most of the bands that I like and would like later on were probably influenced, at least in small part or large part by Eddie Van Halen and by Eruption. And just an amazing song. I saw Pearl Jam in Phoenix last year, and Mike McCready did Eruption. They've done that a few times, and I was very, very happy to hear that because I've never heard it live. And I never did see, I've talked about this before, never did see the real Van Halen live. I saw Van Halen with Sammy Hagar in 1988, and I saw David Lee Roth, I guess around the same time, somewhere around there, but never saw them together. And then once they got back together with David Lee Roth, for one, it wasn't the same, and two, I lived in Mexico at that point, and that tour never came to Mexico, so missed that. Next is You Really Got Me. You Really Got Me, it's possible that was the first Van Halen song I ever heard. I talked about this with Fair Warning. I'm not sure of the timeline. Depending on how I look at it, I feel like So This Is Love was the first Van Halen song I heard, or You Really Got Me. But I think it was You Really Got Me. It was on the radio all the time. Obviously, it's a cover, but I think of it, and I think most people think of it, probably especially because I heard it when I was so young. It's a Kinks song. I think of it as a Van Halen album, and Van Halen did great covers. And so to me, it's a Van Halen album. I didn't hear a Van Halen song. I never heard the original until many, many years later. Metallica also covered it. That kind of got forgotten. They did, I think it was on a Kinks tribute album or something that Metallica did. You Really Got Me, more in the style of Van Halen. I got very, very tired of that song. Still great. Just that opening guitar. It's pure Eddie Van Halen. So crunchy and those little extra, in the songs are. That's Eddie Van Halen. What was next? Ain't Talking About Love. This is probably my favorite Van Halen song. Pearl Jam has covered this as well. Maybe twice. And this is maybe, did I say favorite Van Halen song? If I did, I didn't mean it. Favorite Van Halen song on this album, probably. There's maybe one other one that's pretty close. But just the and then the drums, and then the middle part, hey. Amazing song. I like it better than, maybe because I never really had a chance to get sick of this one like I did with You Really Got Me and Jamie's Crying and Running with the Devil. But not You Really Got Me. Ain't Talking About Love. For now, I'll say it's my favorite on this album. Next was I'm the One, right? Yeah, I'm the one. I'm the one you love. Come on, baby, show your love. I like that one too. Very, very energetic, up-tempo Van Halen rocker. This is a great album. Maybe I wasn't nice enough in my introduction because I really do love this record, but I don't have the attachment to it. So I'm the One ended side one. So if you had flipped it over, the next song would be Jamie's Crying. Oh my God, that was a favorite at some point. And then of course Tone Loc sampled it later on. He had two songs with samples. Was it Wild Thing or Funky Cold Medina? Which one was it? I can't remember. By the time anybody sees this, I will have checked that myself. So Jamie's Crying, very melodic. She saw that look in his eye. David Lee Roth had some great kind of yelpy things. I love David Lee Roth. Maybe not the best live singer, but perfect for Van Halen. Jamie's Crying. At some point, it would have been a contender for favorite song, and maybe it still is, but it was one I got a little bit tired of. Atomic Punk was one that I never got tired of. Maybe for that reason, I do really like it. Very kind of again, the intro to that guitar didn't sound like that at that time. That kind of scratchy sound of Atomic Punk. I'm a victim of the science age. Kind of a aggressive song. Fantastic. I can't always say fantastic. Feel Your Love Tonight. That's maybe the other one that could be a favorite along with Ain't Talking About Love. That one's quite different than some of the other ones. This is like maybe the first real Van Halen kind of party song, like a fun. We're getting funny. We're getting funny in the back of my car. I'm sorry, honey, if I took you just a little too far. I told the fellas out behind the bar, honey, just how fun you are. Yes. No. I love Fear Love Tonight, but very different than a lot of the other songs. Party song, very, very fun, uplifting song, Fear Love Tonight. Great harmony vocals, especially at the end. I can't wait to feel your love tonight. Whoops, wrong side. What was next? Little Dreamer. That's the one I don't like and never did like. And when I listen to this record today, I still don't really like it. It's just kind of, to me, slow, nothing interesting about it. But I would even say of the original 6 Van Halen albums, which really is all you need, Little Dreamer is, I think I can say without question that Little Dreamer, maybe I would have to look through the song titles, but I would say Little Dreamer is my least favorite Van Halen song in the David Lee Roth era. At least original. There's a cover that I'm not too keen on. But I would say Little Dreamer is, maybe my least favorite. This is the Baby Driver of Van Halen. Next is Ice Cream Man, which is a cover of, I can't remember who it is that did Ice Cream Man originally. That's a fun song. Nice little, kind of a fun acoustic intro, and then it gets a little bit, not heavy, a little bit more harder, and a very fun song. They're singing about an ice cream man. Of course it's fun. Everybody loves ice cream. And then the last song is On Fire, which to me is a strange final song. I think it's maybe not the best song to close the album, which I talked about yesterday with Fair Warning. The last song is One Foot Out the Door, which I thought was also a strange way to end that album. And I think On Fire is a little bit strange. You feel like when it ends, because it fades out, you feel like there should be more. But On Fire is excellent. That was one also that I never got tired of, because it wasn't really a radio song. Didn't get a lot of play. So that's it. Where does this go back in? Over here. All right. So that's it. Van Halen, the first album. An all-time classic. As I said, not my favorite Van Halen album, not my favorite debut album. But obviously a lot of people in the annals, I think is what they say, of music history or of rock history, this is considered one of the best. So for these 4 guys, Eddie, Dave, Alex, Michael, and my Depend undergarments, thank you. See ya.